Hey y'all, it's Chip Tips, also known as Daisy, and today I am doing a Pompompurin nail set. This is a short, simple square set made to incorporate fall and Pompompurin. So I'm going to start with one of the 3D designed middle fingers. I'm placing a ball of this 3D gel on the whole bottom of the nail to sculpt the shape that I want. I use my silicone tool to just flatten it around the whole bottom of the nail. I did kind of go out of frame a little bit. I'm really working on that. And you really want to make sure when you're flattening it that it doesn't ooze to the sides, because I realize it does ooze to the sides a bit, and the best way to combat that is to just push it back into the middle of the 3D design. So while that is curing, I went ahead and made a little palette. This is the palette I'm pretty much going to be using throughout this whole set. The yellow is a self-made shade, which is a basic yellow and white that I just mixed. So next, I'm working on the ring finger and the pointer, which are going to be the same design. So it's a crisscross of like the fall color, so the brown, the orange, and the yellow. And it's going to be in the shape of a French tip. For all my fine line designs, I use a 25mm brush. This is the brush that I'm always using to get those nice clean lines. After adding both colors, I use my nail corrector brush. You can use a brush dipped in alcohol to do this, but I'm just using what I have. And I go into the design and carve out the French tip. So right here, I'm just showing you that for my 3D nail that I was working on first, I went ahead with my drill and I smoothed it out. Because when you do like big designs like this, a lot of times there can be areas where it's not as smooth, and you can definitely tell when you add the paint on top of it. So as you can see, I'm just going ahead and painting this nail because this is going to be Pompompurin. So this is his face, and I am using that yellow that I made. Back to the French, I'm just gonna go and dip my finger in a brown that I have, and I'm gonna use that brown to make the lines go the other way to give it that crisscross. I really like how this pattern turned out. I think it's really cute, and I kind of want to do a nail where it's fully like this. I think it's cute for a French, but I know that with a French, it's going to be a bit more covered, so you're not going to see the detail as good as I want. Right here, my camera had went out of focus for a little bit. I don't know why that happened. I was trying to fix it, but it has a mind of its own apparently. I dipped that same 25mm brush in just some plain white to kind of do the outline of the French tip. Back to the 3D design, I'm now starting on the details of his face. Just the brown, I use a daughter tool for the eyes, and I'm going to use my 25mm for the mouth. After curing, I added his hat because I realized I had forgot it. Now I'm just going in with the same brown as his eyes and coloring in his hat. So that nail is complete. So I went ahead and did my detail off camera. I just used the daughter tool and went around that French line that I made. Now I'm doing the bow. For the bow, I just made 2 similar size 3D balls and I flattened them on the nail. And then I'm going to take the tip of my silicone tool and flip it over to make a kind of triangle shape. I do this to make sure that it has that, 3D-ness that I want, the shape that I want, but some people do this in a way so that it has that gap in the middle so it looks like an actual bow. After curing, I make a ball and I flatten it a little bit so it's more of a cylinder shape to make the ribbon. And now I'm just refining how the ribbon looks laid on the nail. I don't show me doing this on camera, but off camera I will go ahead and paint this with my 25mm brush and just a plain colored white. The piece in the middle, I literally just took a 3D piece, flattened it a little bit, laid it over after I had already painted the white on the nail. For the thumb, I am doing a paw design. This design is based on what I had seen on Google. I was looking for an idea of what I wanted to do with the thumb because I didn't want everything to just look so boring. And I saw that one of his designs, he had paw prints in the background. I was like, oh, that would be a pretty cute addition. So I just went ahead and added that. I'm just taking brown and I used my daughter tool to kind of make that circle in the middle as well as the circles around. And I'm just filling in anything I missed with my fine liner brush. This is the pinky design modeled after Pompompurin's favorite food, which is cream caramel pudding. This is probably my favorite nail of this whole set. I really love how the cartoony look came. This is probably my favorite nail of the set. I love how the cartoony look kind of tied the whole nail set together. So I'm going to start with that brown that I've been using to kind of sketch out the shape of the pudding holder. And a lot of time organic shapes like these can be intimidating, but if you think about it, it's not as difficult. Like the actual main base of the dish we know is a semicircle. The things on top of it, it's more of like a parallelogram. So you just want to make those lines instead of straight up and down, you just want to slant them a little bit. And doing the circle on top was probably the easiest part because it could just be a rough outline of a circle, because you're going to go in with your daughter tool, I'll show you later, to fill in that color so that the line art doesn't really matter. So I mixed a bit of that brown with a bit more white to give it a lighter version of the brown to make it look more like the cream caramel pudding that I saw. When doing sets like this, in between I clean my brush with a little bit of alcohol. For the last nail I'm doing is another middle finger design. It's the same technique I used before. I used a 3D ball and I flattened it all over the nail. And for this nail, instead of doing like separate pieces and putting them together, I took my pusher tool, I don't know what those are called, but I took the bottom of that and I kind of carved out the shape that I wanted. It's a lot of pushing and flattening and just refining. 3D designs can be a little bit more tedious, but I love doing 3D. I think it looks really cute when you have a design on your nail that kind of stands out. I also think the sculpting aspect of it is fun. So right here, I just kind of cut a little chunk at the top of the head to go ahead and form my hat. And you can start to see it really coming together, where the hat is, where the ears are, where the face sits. I would say it's really hard when recording, like you sculpting or like really trying to get them details, because a lot of the time when I do nail sets that are really detailed like this, I like to be really up close to my work. And I realized when I was doing that, I was either out of frame or my head was blocking the camera. And I'm pretty sure we don't want either one of those. So this is definitely a little learning curve area for me that I'm hopefully getting better at. So I'm just gonna go cure that. And after curing, I'm adding that same yellow color that I've been using for pretty much everything to go ahead and color in my Pompompurin. For these like 3D designs, I double coated every single one. Basically meaning I painted it with the brush, went around with the fine liner, cured it, and then I did it again just to get rid of those streaky lines. I would say the camera doesn't do a really good job of picking up those streaky lines and those gappy areas. Like if you stop it and you look closely, you can kind of see it, but from the way that I'm looking at it, I can't see it as much. Yeah. I would say if the white that I had was a bit more opaque, I probably wouldn't have had such a problem with it. But you can clearly see a difference in the coloring from before and now. That looks way smoother. So I'm just dipping my 25mm once again in the same brown I've been using to go ahead and add the details of his cute little face. I was surprised how clean that looked. Like, I was like, can I even replicate this? And you'll see for like a second here when I'm trying to think about how I'm going to connect this to the face. Y'all, I was nervous. I was nervous because it just looked so good. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just cure it. I cured it where I was at. I went ahead and finished the face and then I put it back in because I just did not want to mess it up. I just did too good. And this is the completed look of this set. I love the colors, the line work, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. These bows, I'm gonna tell you, like, they were hurting my back because I was so close trying to sculpt them perfectly. but I'm just really proud of how this turned out. So if you would like to see more videos like this, please leave a little like, comment one of your favorite Sanrio characters or another set design that you would like to see me do. And thank you for watching as always. Bye y'all.